Well, Freedom Founders is a community of like-minded people.
It's a group of people who are coming together to learn about ways to become financially free, to get financial freedom in their lives.
And we mastermind, and we change lives.
It's significantly changed the trajectory of my life. I came into Freedom Founders thinking that my retirement was probably 7 to 10 years away from now.
I was looking for an answer. The stock market had plummeted.
I wasn't happy with the stock market, and I wasn't happy with my financial advisor and the things that they were telling me to do. It opened up a whole new world to me of investments, especially in real estate, that I never knew existed.
When you're in a group like this and you have all the expertise in the same room and experiences and other people rowing in the boat with you,
It's like magic, it's amazing.
There are people out there willing to help you that have been down the path before you.
We've made some good friends here and really enjoy the camaraderie and the people that are part of the group.
I love being a part of this group, and I love being able to now help other people create their financial freedom plan as well. I want to be able to give so much to the world. I want to be able to leave a lasting legacy, and I don't think you can do that until you've actually reached that financial freedom.
The gift that I would like to give to my children is to learn these topics and become financially free at some point in their lives.
My hope is that it's going to change lives, just the way Freedom Founders has helped me change my life.
Our biggest breakthroughs in life come when we're out of that comfort zone.
You should always be learning. I don't care how much you know. Everybody in the world knows something that you don't know.
The reason I think I'm up here more than anything else is I've done over $1 billion in real estate.
We're talking about wealth management. We're going to put 3 parts in it.
Never ceases to amaze me how much I learn each time I come here.
You've got to have that balance. If you try to put everything out to the future, it's never going to happen. That's what I call someday syndrome.
you hear about these opportunities out there and you just don't know where to begin.
For you to get where you want to get in life, you're going to have to partner with people.
Living a life of significance. Start with your family.
You know, I left that first meeting with my head spinning with all the possibilities.
There's 4 figures here in a few days that totally supports my lifestyle income.
So where are we now? We started out with no knowledge of real estate, literally. And where are we 2 years later?
It's just been a super experience.
Working hard, saving, scrimping, putting their money, on Wall Street or CDs, they're getting killed today.
Their runway's all messed up. They're not getting enough stuff done. If I try to get them to think about their vision, they're just thinking about the 50 things that are on their to-do list.
Remember, always stay focused on your freedom.
Overall, this is exactly what we all did, and this is how we ended up here.
The more you do, the easier it gets.
You have to decide. Do you want to take control of your financial future? Do you want to have a date certain where you can be free, or are you just going to keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best?
This is a demonstration of 4 people that are at different times in their careers. They have done different things with the Freedom Founder model. They are crushing it.
The main reason I came to Freedom Founders was the real estate. That was the shiny object. This is much more than real estate.
My dad was a financial advisor for 50 years, all Wall Street. So that's all I learned. 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then I was working on Saturdays, just wanted to build up my nest egg. And I realized it was great for everybody except for me. I was at work all the time.
I was being burnt out because I was doing 40% Medicaid. I was seeing about 60 patients a day. I was starting to have some bad neck pain, seeing a chiropractor and an acupuncturist, and I'm 33.
Kind of at a point in my career where I like what I do, but I'd like to do it at a slower pace and create more freedom for family. And I have young children, and kind of went out of the gate and did a lending deal, and I'm on my way to 4 doors with a couple of different trusted advisors. And
I never bought a stock that they said, hey, you know what, Jim, that's going to go down. Let me take it back. So I have had 3 deals in this group, and the trusted advisors, froze it and took it back. Why? Because we're all in the deal together. It's win-win.
Along the way, has had a chance to visit with several of the elite members, say, hey, what do you think about my situation? And spitball this with me, and figured out a little bit of a strategy. I feel like I have a vision now, and so it's just been exciting. It's been fun, really, to realize, like, okay, there's a way. you know, and I can see it.
I have 15 action items ready to go for Monday. We've only been here for a day and a half.
In 2 years, I've been here coming for 2 years. I've totally transformed my entire practice.
I chose to leverage the horse that brought me to the dance, which was my practice. And we were able to get a 32% increase those last 5 months. And then this year, after 2 months, we've got a 62% increase in horsepower.
When I first came here, I told David that I wanted to retire by the time I was 50. So that's 17 years from now. And he said, why are you waiting till you're 50? Why not retire when you're 40? And I just laughed at him. I was like, yeah, that's really funny. I don't know how that's gonna happen. But there's distinct possibility I can retire when I'm 40.
We did not see an end to our dental stress, and probably John more so than me. He was always very passionate about his career and patients, and he loved the dentistry, but towards the end there was none of that. When you see someone that you love and care about going through such anguish, that was very, very hard.
During your dental career, I think everybody faces particular challenges. Did it give me a bigger why to look for more? Probably why I found Freedom Founders.
John and I initially met at the University of Michigan. We were both attending school at the time.
And found out that a lot of our core values were the same. She was more, how should I say, light rock, and I was more Led Zeppelin, so she kind of tamed me down. But now we listen to the same music.
John and I had dated several years before we decided to be married. Those early years were very tough. It was a very small practice. We put in a lot of hours.
When I look at my family, we're a very tight-knit group. Jeannie and I complement one another.
You know, we both came from families that worked well together. You know, our parents were very hard workers. So we've always been able to work together. And with me having my dental background, that certainly helped. I could run the front desk, and I loved it. I could be the dental hygienist.
A very difficult thing to do in a lot of relationships is for a husband and wife to work together. In our situation, it made us stronger. You know, we talk about having our network. Well, the very nucleus of that network is your family. You can support one another through the difficult times.
Saginaw, Michigan was a General Motors town, so we had a lot of people there, you know, great insurance, you know, new patients coming through the door all the time. But then, you know, with things shutting down in Saginaw, with, you know, all General Motors, you know, leaving, it made things tough with the practice.
Having accumulated funds that I thought were going to allow me to retire at a given age of 55, I was well on track for that. In 2008, when the market crashed, I lost a third of all of that. At the same time, I had started one of my first real estate deals, and that folded up. We ended up losing all of that money.
Those days were probably the hardest days that I've ever had with John, just not seeing an end to our situation. John is the one that discovered Freedom Founders initially. And so he mentioned it to me one day, and he says, oh, you know, I think we should go to Dallas and check this group out. And, you know, I really didn't want to go because I was worried it was going to be another one of those situations where we kind of got roped in and invested our money in, left with nothing.
You have to remember, I've taken her through Amway, I've taken her through multi-level marketing and supplements, I've taken her through Ron LeGrand. I mean, we had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this stuff, trying to find another path. And I went to the well one more time and said, we're going to Dallas. And it worked out. So, you don't give up.
This freedom has affected John even more so than it has affected me.
I was looking for that why, and did it take several years? It took 7 years, but you never give up.
He was always driven to find a new source of income. But freedom is even more than that. Freedom is peace of mind.
It put my mental well-being, my financial well-being on a fast track. It's just that ability to live your life the way that you want to live it, that you don't have this thing that you have to do each and every day. That's the feeling that I have.
I also am very happy that we are passing on our legacy of Freedom Founders to our children.
That's another piece of freedom, because that's a legacy. I'm giving them a legacy of another way to live your life. That's what I want to pass on to others, because that feeling is so liberating that my ability to give that to others has now become my why.